What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Comic Aussie. We have a fun show today. Essentially, it's kind of part two of a submission I have going to CGC. The next group of books that I've gathered together to send off to get cleaned and pressed and then submitted to CGC. There's a couple moderns in here that probably don't need any work done, but what I usually do is I have them checked over just in case that there's some issue that maybe I missed, because I have had things come up in the past where I just submitted a modern book and it had a bit of an issue that could have been corrected and I didn't take care of it and it came back, 9.4, 9.6, whatever. So just to be safe, it's worth having a look over. D'Angelo Long, he's a friend of mine. He's my comic presser cleaner. He looks at the book. If it doesn't need work, he just kind of assesses it. If it does, he gives the attention that it is necessary. But he does me the favor by just kind of like making sure that there's nothing wrong with him. Anyways, that being said, there's a couple stacks here to get through. There's some, I'll indicate, there's some that I pulled out of that collection, that massive collection. There's some that books that I've bought in the past few weeks that I think are worthy of getting graded. But I thought it'd be kind of fun just to run down the books. I can give my grade estimates and then we can kind of come back to this video and see how well I did. I also get grade estimates from D'Angelo, and I kind of, he's better gauge than I am, so he usually corrects my grades because I try and to scrutinize the best I can. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you just miss stuff. So I let him take care of the heavy lifting, per se. Anyways, let's get into it. Some fun books here. I have some keepers for sure. I have some books that I'm sending off to get graded to add that value to them to sell off. I do have a couple of multiples, so that I'll keep one and sell, but you get the idea as we go through them. So first book, just because I know we're going to probably be getting more of a horror side in the MCU, but I do kind of love this book. I do have Marvel Premiere 28, First Legion of Monsters, out to CGC right now, but this is Legion of Monsters. I want to say it was done in the late 2000s with Elsa, Morbius, Werewolf by Night, but I just thought this would be a pretty good book to get graded. I have one of these at CGC right now. It was there for the Perez signing. It kind of got redirected. I think it just got it graded. Nothing else, but I thought, why not grade? Second copy, Marvel Team Up 65, first Captain Britain in US Comics. This guy, let me go back. So, Legion of Monsters, it seems fairly perfect. I'm saying it's a 9.6 to 9.8 for sure. This Marvel Team Up has some spine issues. Back looks good. Corners are fairly good. I'm going to probably say this is maybe 8.5 to a 9. So, but I thought it'd be, for the MCU down the road, I feel we're going to be getting that more of the UK influence, Blade, Black Knight, etc. These books, if I ever find them a high grade, I always get them graded. I'm just a big Carnage fan. So, Amazing Spider-Man 362. This thing is pristine. It definitely looks like a 9.8. Second Carnage. This guy is definitely in better shape than my 9.0, so I want to get this graded and then move my 9.0 off and keep this one. Amazing Spider-Man 361. What can I say? Anytime, again, I find a nice mint copy, I send it off to get graded. Lethal Protector. These full covers, if there's something wrong with them, there's something wrong with them. You really cannot correct that. Like, you can't, as far as I know, you cannot press out a defect. If it's in there, it's in there. And if it does have a crease, it usually breaks that foil. I do not have a copy of this, and definitely want it in the PC. This guy is for sure a 9.4. I'm hoping for a 9.8. Silver Surfer 44, just a great Ron Lim cover and introduction of the Infinity Gauntlet. I've been after this guy for a while in a high grade. It's purely nostalgic buy. Real Ghostbusters #1. I believe first in US Comics. I just love this book. I don't know. There's just something about it. Sometimes I buy for specs. Sometimes, you know, I just need to have a book in my collection. Speaking of spec, I'm sending off the covers like this. These are all hopefully 9.8s, but I'm definitely going to pre-screen what these books are, just because I don't know what's happening in the future, and I think it's worthwhile to get them graded. This, because of the rarity, I think this is the one per store, Dr. Afro 1. I'm gonna not pronounce that artist correctly, Shiriyama. But just a great sort of negative to the issue 1 that has the color, but this was the one per store. Definitely a rare book, and I thought we're going to be getting Dr. Afro. Want to get that graded. Do not flame me for this, but it's a high grade. I got it for cover price. I'm getting it graded. Guys, it keeps sending this book in. It keeps coming back. 9.6, 9.4, 9.6, 9.4. I'm aiming for a 9.8. Hopefully these two. There's one that has a tiny bit of an issue. I may not send it, but I have 2 copies. I may get them both graded just because of the news that just dropped. I know they seem to be focusing on the Hickman run 2015, but for sure this and the second run will get attention, so why not? Again, another book. I just wanted a 9.8. It's awesome. Enemy Within, perfect glow in the dark. And then more books that I just, I don't know, I just want them 9.8s, but they're pretty easy to sell if they do come back in a high grade. Second print or third print, just great McFarlane classic covers. And then issue 13, want them all in 9.8s. The last one I don't have in raw or 2 is the newsstand, and then the platinum. So I definitely want to get that one. These 2 guys, I'll probably keep the second printing, and hopefully they both come back in 9.8. They're great condition. Ghost Rider 1, again, kind of a spec, one to keep, one to sell. Same thing with this. First Abigail brand Astonishing X-Men 6, 2 copies, hopefully 9.8. Don't worry guys, we're getting into some of the older books in just a second. Another book, I think, I don't know. I'm just a Black Suit Spidey fan. I think it's a bit of a staple if you are to have in the collection. Web of Spider-Man 1, just another classic Black Suit Spidey cover. This next book popped up in the video I did about affordable Wolverine books to get. I think this is undervalued. I don't think it has the attention that it kind of deserves, but I just want you know, a high grade copy in my collection. Wolverine 88, first battle between Wolverine. All right, to some older books. These, majority of them came out of the collection that I had. I did say I was going to kind of separate them. This was out of the collection. The Abigail brand was not. Ghost Rider was. The Spider-Man were. Secret Wars, yes. Obviously the Timeless and Afra. Captain Carter, because the collection was kind of stopped in 95. It was packed up and never kind of looked at again. The Ghostbusters I had bought raw. Surfer and all the Spidey from another collection that I bought. The Legion of Monsters I picked up as well raw. These next books, this one issue I got from Sandy Comic Night, just because you know, when I can find something in the Canadian price variant, I do try and hunt it down, and I will definitely buy it. I do think they will command a bit of a premium to some degree down the road, but I just adore this cover. Galactus, the origin of, I think it's a collection of the origin stories of Galactus. This I got from Comic Night Sandy. This is the Canadian price variant, 75 cents. Of course, it's a newsstand. This one I found in the collection, so I'm gonna send them off both to get graded. I really hope, it probably won't. It's got a couple issues. The Canadian price variant I'll probably keep them both, just because I really like that cover. And Galactus is definitely a ways away. This next book came out of that collection, Moon Knight 1, newsstand. Hopefully comes back a higher grade than the 9.4 I have. It may not. It does look like a 9.4 as well. Maybe even a 9.2 looking at it. Again, under this light. I'm going to say probably 9.4, but a newsstand. Definitely worth getting graded. This is in beautiful condition. If this doesn't come back a 9.4, 9.2, maybe even higher, I'd be shocked. You know, we're going to be getting the origin story, I guess, in the next Guardians of the Galaxy, High Evolutionary. I think that's going to be one of the main focuses in that movie. So I thought it'd be worthy to get this one graded as well. Incredible Hulk 271. First Rocket Raccoon. This, again, came out of the collection, hasn't seen light of day since the 90s. It is in beautiful condition. It doesn't have a single tick on the spine, so that needs to get graded. This one, for sure, it's probably going to be a 7, 6.5, 7, but I'm just a big fan of second appearances, so Amazing Spider-Man 135, it came out of the collection, but it needs to get graded. Eventually, I'd like to have this one on high grade. I did not find a 129, so I am actively seeking one, probably in around 7.0. So it'd be kind of fun to have them both in a 7.0, just to have that sort of horizontal grade. I do kind of like that when it comes to connecting or associated books. Next one up came out of the collection as well, Avengers 196. First Taskmaster. I didn't think I was going to keep this, but had it around for a while. I had a couple interested buyers, but I held off. I don't know, it's just a classic cover and a classic book, so I'm probably going to keep that. Next couple, did come out of the collection. Captain Marvel 27, second Drax, third Thanos, first Eros. So this is definitely a book I'm probably going to be holding on to, and then when we get more news, I'll probably flip, sell, however you want to call it. This was another book that came up in the affordable Wolverine keys to get. Just a great Wolverine sort of spec book. X-Men 133, first solo cover of Wolverine. You can definitely find this in the wild for a pretty good price, and this one is in awesome shape. I'm going to say definitely in the mid-9s for sure. If it gets a 9.4, I'd be surprised, but yeah, just a great book. Truthfully, I thought this got sent with the first batch, but it did not. It definitely needs to get graded. Am I going to keep this? Probably not. First Mockingbird, Marvel Team Up 95. It's in great shape. It's definitely going to get a 9, maybe 8.5, but 9. So it also deserves to get graded. I have this next book. I found 2 copies. One in the bigger collection that I bought, and then I just recently bought a Spider-Man collection that I got some of those, like the Carnage and the Venom out of. And I thought, I'm trying to finish off the Black Suit Spidey collection. So Amazing Spider-Man 252, Marvel Team Up 141, and Spectacular Spider-Man 90. So just another, I wish we did have Black Suit Spidey on the cover, but we do not. But I want this eventually in 9.8 for sure. So I'm going to take a stab at it and send this in. The first one I sent definitely has a better chance. I'm going to say this is mid-9s as well. All right, guys, older books. I got 2 copies of this out of the collection. Fantastic 467. First cameo of him. They were both in around the same grade. This guy's probably going to be, I'm going to say a 6. It's got a bit of crease right here. Maybe a 5.5, but definitely worthy to get graded. I am keeping some Warlock books. This will probably move on after it gets graded. Marvel Premiere 1, having a 7.0. I love that book, so I'll probably maybe try and keep that one or upgrade that one with a book like this. This is an awesome book. It definitely will not come back a 9.8. Definitely won't be in the high 9s as well. If it gets even close to an 8, I'd be surprised. I'm going to say 7.5. First Agatha, Fantastic Four, 94. But this, you know, it's a worthy book. When Agatha series gets closer, I'll probably, hopefully I'll have that back graded, and then I'll move that on to a new owner. Last few here. I love these books. Fantastic Four 6, First Annihilus, First Franklin Richards as an infant, just a classic Kirby cover. This is a big old square bound book. It has a lot of issues. I'm probably going to say if it gets a 5, I'd be happy, but yeah, it's a great book, but definitely want to have one in the collection. I'm probably going to say at some point I would love to have one that is 6.5 to 7, maybe. This is, I bought this one because it was a better copy than the one I pulled out of the collection. Strange Tales 158, First Living Tribunal. So I bought this because hopefully it'll get a higher grade. I have one now getting graded. I'll probably let that one go. I don't know if we're going to get any more news with the Living Tribunal, but it was kind of associated with Loki. But I just thought it definitely needs to get graded. But just a great Doctor Strange cover. Just sort of classic. Love that. Love that red cover. It's beautiful. Last 4 books. Doom's coming at some point. There's so many rumors, so many leaks, etc. So anything that is classic Doom, I'm definitely going to give the attention it needs, add the value by sending it off, getting it cleaned, getting it pressed, getting it graded. Fantastic Four 57. You know, any sort of key Fantastic Four sub 100 is always a no-brainer. So I love this book. Just classic Kirby cover and classic Doom cover. This next 2 books came out of a Spider-Man collection I had purchased maybe last month. It was one of the books that attracted me to this collection. You know, hopefully this will get back, unless I'm not going to say it's going to get back to the prices it was. It was definitely overinflated. But it definitely, the newsstand version, which this is, garnered a premium over the direct. So that's why I kind of wanted this. It is, if it gets a 6.5, 7, I would be happy. There's some value in it. I sold off a bunch of books from that collection, so anything that I can get out of this would be great. I do have a 9.0. The book is Amazing Spider-Man 300. I do have a 9.0 in direct. When this comes back, I'll probably let them both go to try and get into a higher grade newsstand for sure. You know, that's kind of what these books sometimes are. They're stepping stones to a higher grade, to a different book that you want. It's just the way it goes. When you add the value to them by getting them pressed and cleaned and getting them graded, and then you can make the choice. Do I want to try and move a couple of books to get a higher grade in it? Do I already have one that's graded that I'd like to upgrade and use these as trading tools to get that done? That's one of the tactics in terms of collecting. But you know, it takes some work to do. It takes some work to do to go out and find these books. It takes some work to do if you're going to find collections, if you're going to make those deals. It's what it comes down to. When we're done, I'll kind of talk briefly about the process about the buying collections and what I did to get myself sort of organized and have these books either sold raw or graded. But I have 2 more to get through. This one came out of the Spider-Man collection that I bought. It's a newsstand. I'm a big Venom fan. I definitely want to use this to step up into a higher grade. This guy is probably going to come back a 7.5. Third Venom, first cover. So it's just going to be a tool to get into a higher grade, but it definitely needs some attention. It has a bit of a non-color breaking bend in it, so it definitely needs a press for sure. This last book, I bought it at LCS. They got a Spider-Man collection in. They took the time to get everything organized. They took the time to put this up for sale, and I took advantage of it. I just want this in my collection. I want it in my collection in a low grade. In terms of cost, I didn't feel that was something that I wanted to strive for, to attain, but I definitely wanted this in the collection. I knew I wanted it in there in around 3.5, highest 4, but this popped up. We worked out a deal, and I'm happy it's here. I think it's going to come back a 2.25. That's what I anticipate. I love this cover. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man covers. It's definitely a top 10 of all-time favorite covers. What am I talking about? Amazing Spider-Man 50. Look at this beauty. It is just a gorgeous cover. It's in my top 10 for sure of all-time favorites. Top 5 Spider-Man for sure, but it has definitely some issues here that are going to really bring down the grade. But I kind of assessed this and I did bring D'Angelo in to help me. I sent him some high-res photos before I bought it. He said it looks like a 2.25. I did my pricing and around that for a raw. I didn't price it out graded. And then I worked out a deal with the LCS owner, and I walked out with it. So I'm pretty stoked to have that. So before we get into just briefly talking about buying collections, the other thing is using tools. And what I mean by that is friends of the community, friends who have experience with either some books or genres or characters that you don't know, that you can utilize to help you find the proper price. Tools like GPA analysis. It's you have to pay for it. It's a tool that I use every day. It pays itself in the end, and it has definitely been a key tool that I use. It was one of the first things that I did getting back into collecting was sign up and pay the monthly subscription to it. It is totally worth it. I think anybody that doesn't use it should definitely look at it and see its value for sure. The other thing too is if you have somebody that's on your side in terms of who can press and clean, that's another useful tool, because you can send pictures and be like, hey, I need some help. What do you think this is going to get graded at? So you can work with whoever's selling or wherever this book is, and knowing confidently what that fair market value for that book is. So, I just saying that there's so many different tools, because you're spending a lot of money in these books, and it's definitely useful to utilize those tools. And people are more than willing to help you for sure, because we all share the love of these books. All right, guys, before I go, I thought it'd be kind of fun just to roughly break down buying and sort of selling off a collection. So it's all about, putting it out there that you are you're looking for collections to buy, whether it's small or large. It is definitely a way to get yourself into larger books, but it's definitely not easy. So you have to manage those different elements of that collection. One, negotiating the price, finding what fair market value is, because everybody has to be very comfortable with the sale, yourself and the seller included, because there's definitely sometimes on the seller side, there's a lot of emotions attached to this, because it was their childhood collection. They have it because they share the love of these books, but it's time for them to move on. So you have to negotiate or navigate through that as well. But once you do have it, there's many things that you need to do. You need to organize yourself. You need to go through it, pull out the bigger keys for sure that have value. And then once that's done, you need to decide what you're going to keep raw and what you're going to grade. And then even within those, once you've done that, what you're going to sell, what you're going to keep, what you're going to use to as a stepping stone to get yourself into other books. I've used Instagram. I'm on Whatnot to also move some of the books that are below those sort of key books. I've used Whatnot as well to sell bigger key books as well. You need to decide what place each and every book has. Do I want to get it graded? Want to keep it broad? Do I want to sell it? Do I want to trade it? Etc. Stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, once you do that a couple times in terms of buying and selling collections, and that word is out there, they will come to you. Once people know that you want to do that, they will come to you. I guarantee it. Your friends know, your colleagues know. So you're always going to hear like, oh, I have a friend who needs to sell some books. I have a friend who's got a bunch of long boxes, etc., because I know you're into collecting. So just put the word out, and these books will definitely come to you, whether it's a big, huge collection or something smaller. Anyways, guys, I was going to try and make it a short video, but definitely wasn't. I hope you enjoy it. If you are not subscribed, please do so. If you like this video, hit that like button. Follow me here. Follow me on IG. Follow me on Whatnot. I'll put all the links below. I hope you guys enjoy that. And I'll probably have a third video of another round of books, getting that piled together to send off in a third submission. But I'm staggering them all just to have one. It's a lot easier to have just chunks of books coming back as to them all at once. This is a lot of books. I probably have 70 books or so there right now, so it's just easier to kind of break it down to 15 to 20 books for shipping, for payments, etc. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoy, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. Take care. Cheers.